What is happening, YouTube? It's been a while. I made a video that's related to the Chargers. Um, the Bills game, it was such a really exciting game, and this video is pretty much kind of like a little bit of a mixture of like a overview on how the Chargers, you know, were playing like after Staley got fired, and a little bit of a preview, and pretty much my thoughts on this team overall because overall, this is my first season watching the NFL, like game to game, and I'll say it's been pretty fun despite the struggles that the Chargers are going through. But that's how I pretty much feel. I hope I'm able to make a post game video tomorrow. I don't know if I'll watch like every single part of the game tomorrow. I think I think I should. Obviously tomorrow. Also, the Clippers play the Lakers, so that's also a big day. So it might be another like a double video upload tomorrow night. But today, this is just like an overview, in my opinion. At least what I'm trying to do. Um, it's like because every single my video is pretty much mostly freestyled and whatever's on my head. Um, you know, So let's first of all let's talk about the Bills versus the Chargers. Um, the Chargers, man, after getting blown out, we faced off against the Bills. It was a new kind of close to Christmas, um, and then the Chargers actually almost won, but I'm really happy that we lost. Um, ever since that, honestly, even ever since we lost against Green Bay, I was at this point that I say and it was either Green Bay or the Ravens. And then I was in the mentality that, you know what, let's try to lose as many games as possible. Because I know it's hard to root against your team to lose, and I know some people they're pretty competitive and they have that pride in them that like they want the team to win as much as possible. But at the same time, um, if your team is not going to win the championship, your goal is to get the best draft pick possible. And of course, a win, yes, it'll be fun, but sometimes it's better to, try to get the best draft pick possible. And the Chargers, they did a pretty perfect job. Um, you know, they did like good enough to keep competitive because the Bills, they're arguably a contender and they came a long way. They came a long way. Just like 2 months ago, the Bills they look like they're not gonna make it to the playoffs. Now they definitely took a huge leap. They're the sixth seed right now. Josh Allen, he had he had some good moments. Had some mistakes, but he pulled through, and I'm glad that he got the win to help the draft pick. But it was some good football for the Chargers. Um, you know, I consider that as the ultimate win, in my opinion. They kept it super close, kept it competitive, didn't win, but it's all right. We were playing our backup Easton Stick. Um, that game he did pretty well. Now the next game, the Denver Broncos. The Broncos, I had a feeling that we are gonna lose because the Broncos they just at the time they wanted it more, but now they already got bounced in the playoffs, so I guess that was like a meaningless win for them. But regardless, Broncos was gonna win. Um, a New Year's win would be fun, but at the same time, I still wanted to lose. I wanted the best draft pick possible, and I'm glad that we lost. Um, the new Chargers coach, Giff Smith, um, I think he's doing a pretty solid job for what he has. Of course, the team doesn't have Justin Herbert, Easton Stick. Um, he has some good moments, but this game versus the Broncos, he wasn't really good. He was throwing like a lot of incompletions. It was it was like a miss. It was so bad. That, throws the ball pretty slow. That's why I knew that we were gonna get blown up by the Raiders. Because of course his first game starting and he didn't do so well, but later on he kind of pulled through a bit, I guess. But he still fumbled the ball a lot. I'm talking about the Raiders, the Raiders game. However, the Broncos game, it was like, both teams played amazing defense. Well, the Chargers, for the most part, they did. But there was just that one moment when we just couldn't tackle, and then it led to the Broncos getting a touchdown. I wasn't mad because I was like, hey, it helps our draft pick. Let's get it. And then our offense, I don't think we scored a touchdown. Like it was all field goal kicks, I believe. It's been a while, so I probably must have probably I forgot, but I believe it was field goal kicks, just field goal kicks, I believe. Um, as for the Broncos, Jared Stidham, he did all right. He actually no, never mind, he didn't do all right. He actually did, solid. He did his part. Um, but and then of course the Broncos, they got a good running back. Uh, they got Javonte Williams, a pretty solid player. Um, pretty good running back, pretty strong, and like pretty strong dude. Like that's something the Chargers could use. Austin Eckler, he is pretty subpar. Dude, just he fumbled the ball. He fumbled the ball. Obviously, I think this is Eckler's last season. I think it's definitely time for him to go. Um, you know, maybe some teams will give Eckler a try. He has some like spurts that he looks pretty solid, but other than that, I think he's just an average running back in my opinion. Not as good as what people hype him up to be. There are moments when it'll blow you away. Like he will definitely have some cool highlights, but other than that, he fumbles the ball so often. Um, and then Khalil Mack, Thule, they're definitely the bright spot of the team. Um, but our defense does look a lot better. But it was quote unquote too late, but it's not really too late because I think it's perfect timing because our defense got better, but it doesn't hurt our draft pick. Um, but the main part of this video is going to be like a little preview about the Chargers versus the Chiefs. First of all, I don't know too much about Blaine Gabbert. Like I said, first season watching football. I heard he's been a backup quarterback for a long time, so it's not like he's just like a random new quarterback, I guess. Been in the league for a while. Um, I hope he beats us. The Chiefs, I heard they're resting a lot of the players. Mahomes, yeah, he's out. And the Chiefs, their receivers cannot catch whatsoever. But Kadarius Toney is sitting, so maybe the Chiefs receiver might actually be a lot better than when they're healthy, I guess, because Kadarius Toney's the one who's been dropping the ball. But anyways, um, who will win the game? Um, I still think the Chiefs gonna win the game, and I want the Chiefs to win, obviously. But I think the Chiefs are gonna win the game because I think their defense is pretty good. Um, and the Chargers still don't have Keenan Allen. Um, not even Josh Palmer either. So the Chargers are gonna have no receiving core pretty much. Quentin Johnson is pretty much gonna be getting fed, and hopefully his confidence will go up. But like a lot of the players of the Chargers the main player is gonna sit out. Um, I think even Tulipalotu is questionable. I would love him to sit out. I would love every single top Chargers player to sit out. Just take it easy. Just play their hearts out, but lose. Get that top 5 pick. Most importantly, get Malik Neighbors and Brock Bowers. I'm gonna do a video within like when the draft is kind of like near, like let's say like around like March. I wanna say, and pretty much gonna talk about who the Chargers should pick. I'm sure you guys obviously know, but it's gonna be pretty much like a short range of prospects because in my opinion, there are just some players that the Chargers cannot pass up on. I'm already gonna give you like a list already, so I'm gonna spoil it. And it's Malik Neighbors and Brock Bowers and Roma Dunze. Those are the only three guys that I want the Chargers to draft, and gonna make an in-depth video about them, like within like later, like nowhere near like right now. But I hope the Chargers lose the game, and I think it's possible. I don't know if Kelsey's gonna play. I have a feeling Kelsey might play. I think because he has like a record that he would like to break. So hey, that'll be good. That'll be good to just to support the tank. Also, I don't know about Isaiah Pacheco. If he plays, then the Chiefs definitely gonna win because Pacheco, he's definitely a beast at a running back. Super strong, super quick. He does his thing. But I know some people, the Chiefs is the Chargers' big rival, and a lot of Chargers fans they hate the Chiefs a lot. Just a lot of rivalry and all that. A lot of people they hate the Chiefs, but I know that a lot of people would want to win, and they say, "Oh, let's try to win for honor. Let's win for pride." But one thing you do, like, what do you do if there's like a war, and then you're losing the battle? Your troops are getting, like, they're getting beat up. They're getting, like, killed and everything, and then you don't have the resources. You retreat. And I feel like that analogy is like what the Chargers, like is doing, and I hope they continue to do, which is pretty much just retreat. Just take it easy, do whatever you could, but don't win the game. Just get the better draft pick. Like get the draft pick as high as possible. Don't try to be prideful. And I hope the Chargers lose the game. Not because I hate the players. I just want the draft pick. Like, that's the goal. If you're not going to win the Super Bowl, what's the point of winning? You're not going to get an extra, I don't know, like a bonus draft pick or something if you win. You're not going to get an extra cap relief if you're going to win. And, a lot of people, they like to they like to discourage tanking. Um, I actually don't like that. And I know that even like sports, they're trying to like shame it and all that by creating lotteries and all that, and then even finding teams for tanking. I believe the league like not. I'm not talking about NFL. Talking about like mainly the NBA, and then I heard baseball. They're kind of like that too. I believe there should be no punishment for tanking. I believe tanking should be glorified and it should be glorified and should be, allowed. Because tanking, it's not cheating. It's just a strategy. Because the last thing you want to do is be extremely mediocre and go nowhere. I like being in the middle is the probably like the worst thing that could happen. For if you're like a sports team, because then you're good enough to make the playoffs, but you're bad enough. I mean, you're good enough to not get a high pick, but you're bad enough not to win a championship. It's better to be either a contender or a tanking team because if you're a tanking team, you get the top pick. So that's why I feel like tanking should be, like encouraged and glorified rather than, being shamed. And I know it's a side note, but that's just my overall opinion. But going going back on topic, Chargers Sunday. I think the Chargers gonna lose. I think the Chiefs gonna win. I know it's a home game, but um, Give Smith he did his thing. But the only good player on the Chargers right now, um, you know, is pretty much the kicker. And I think it might be the same thing with the Chiefs. But let's hope the Chiefs win tomorrow, and the Chargers get the better pick. But anyways, that should end this video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If anybody's watching. And thank y'all really much. Peace.